Overqwil paired with Kyogre, a Swift Swim build, was able to get top 8 at the Regulation G North American International Championship back in the day, and the duo has recently placed top 16 at the Japan National Championship, but it is not Swift Swim. We're going to be trying out a Intimidate Overqwil team and seeing how well it can perform. This Overqwil paired with Kyogre is Intimidate with Toxic Spikes and a different sets than the Swift Swim offensive variants that players might expect, alongside the Lagging Tail Grimmsnarl. Let's break it down. First up, we have the Leftovers Calyrex Ice Rider with the As 1 Foot ability and the Fairy Terror type that is able to help out against super effective Dark type moves and just be neutral against a lot of typings while resisting the body press from Zamazenta. With Protect, Glacial Lance, Leech Seed, and Trick Room. Overall, bulky Calyrex Ice Rider has come into play a lot in this format, and it is just able to stick around and really just recover a lot of HP. Even if Calyrex Ice Rider is getting low, it can take the Leftovers plus the Grassy Terrain on this team and the Leech Seed recovery, and it will be back healthy in no time. It's also just able to stick around because of its massive defenses, especially when invested. So it is just able to stick around on the field, doesn't care about having Glacial Lance as the only attack, even against a Wide Guard mon, because of the fact that Leech Seed will be able to stall out pretty much anything that has Wide Guard unless they have a Terra Grass factor into them. With the EV spread max HP, 36 attack with a Brave Nature that does give an extra stat point to its attack, 60 in defense and 156 special defense. It's just able to take these special attacks like an Electro Drift from a Choice Specs Miraidon. It is just going to stick around on the field, do some pretty decent damage with the Glacial Lance, and recover with all the amounts of access that it has to the Leftovers Grassy Terrain and again the Leech Seed recovery from your opponent. And the Calyrex Ice Rider, this one is running 0 speed IVs just so it can be the fastest thing under Trick Room and go for those speed ties in the base 50 tier if necessary. Next Pokemon we have is the Mystic Water Kyogre with the Drizzle ability to summon the rain with the Grass Terra type to help out against super effective grass and electric type moves with Protect, Water Spout, Thunder, and Hydro Pump. It's a pretty standard Mystic Water Kyogre. You have double water type moves with the Hydro Pump and the Water Spout. You have Water Spout as your main attacking option with the spread powerful attack, while the Hydro Pump is able to play around the Wide Guards, and then Thunder if you need to be able to hit the Water Urshifus, any Terra Waters, and more that are able to resist the Ice and Water attacks from your restricted duo. With Terra Grass, it's just a solid defensive option against Amoonguss, but also just against Rillaboom, Raging Bolt, and all the Pokemon that generally hit Kyogre for super effective damage. With the EV spread, this one is going to be a pretty tanky Kyogre. It has max HP with 148 defense, just so it's able to sponge up, because this team does have a lot of defensive tools with Reflect, with Intimidate, while still being able to do a lot of damage with the modest 100 special attack investment, and then the rest going into special defense and speed, because this team has its only forms of speed control with Trick Room and the Lagging Tail and the Grimmsnarl. You don't really need to invest much speed into your Pokemon in general, so this Kyogre is just going to be able to fire off attacks pretty hard and tank attacks thanks to a good amount of investment alongside the defensive tools you have on this team. Next Pokemon we have is the Rocky Helmet Incineroar with the Intimidate ability with the Water Terra type. That's just really great into opposing Kyogre. Still resists the Glacial Lances from the opposing Calyrex Ice Riders. A good neutral Terra type, especially with Knockoff, Will-O-Wisp, Parting Shot, and Fake Out. It is a max defensive Incineroar. Not really much to say about Incineroar. I think we all know how good this Pokemon is. Rocky Helmet is just able to chip any Pokemon that are able to touch the Incineroar and discourage a Surging Strikes, especially from Water Urshifu, which can be scary to switch into with this team since you have Kyogre and Calyrex Ice Rider. Not the best switches to Surging Strikes, so having that Terra Water and the Rocky Helmet is able to chip away the Urshifu, and a great combo to have. It's pretty simple Incineroar though. You have Will-O-Wisp option to burn like Zamazenta, opposing Urshifus, Rillabooms, and more. The physical attackers that will really threaten the Kyogre and the Calyrex Ice Rider. Knockoff able to get rid of items, Parting Shot of course to reposition, and Fake Out be able to help set up the partner. And yeah, not much to say about Incineroar. It's just a good defensive Pokemon. What else to say? We all know how good Incineroar is as a supportive Pokemon in general in VGC. Next Pokemon we have is the Assault Vest Rillaboom with the Grassy Surge to summon the Grassy Terrain with the Water Terra type. Another defensive typing against the Calyrex Ice Rider. Still be able to resist super effective Fire type attacks and more. With the Wood Hammer, U-Turn, Grassy Glide, and Fake Out. It's a pretty standard Rillaboom as well. The only bit of a difference is it runs a lot less special defense because you don't need it as much against Miraidon because you have the combo of the Grassy Terrain plus Calyrex Ice Rider, and you also have Light Screen as an option from the Grimmsnarl. So this one actually runs a lot of speed, and this allows the Rillaboom to outspeed max speed Incineroar, so you can get a faster fake out off into like a Miraidon Incineroar combination and more. EV spread wise, it does have just max HP, 36 attack, which gives it a jump point with the Adamant Nature, a good amount of special defense to still be able to switch into like those attacks from the special side like Astral Barrage, Moongeist Beam, Water Spout, and more. And again, a lot of speed in order to outspeed max speed Rillaboom. It's a faster Rillaboom than we commonly see, however is still able to put in a good amount of work, tank attacks, dish out a good amount of damage. It's a solid Pokemon indeed. Next Pokemon we have is the Black Sludge Overqwil, a leftovers only for poison types, because if you're not a poison type, you will take the amount of damage instead of recovering the amount of HP. With the Intimidate ability, with the Poison Terror type, again, you have the Black Sludge, so it makes sense, but it also gets rid of the Dark typing for the Overqwil, so you're actually able to resist Fairy type attacks and Fighting type attacks, especially that Zamazenta, which can actually be really helpful. With Protect, Taunt, Barbarage, and Toxic Spikes. And Overqwil is a very interesting mon. We have used the defensive Overqwil in the past, and it was able to put in a lot of work because its typing is actually really solid with Dark and Poison. Really good into Calyrex Shadow Rider, being able to be immune to the Psychic type attacks as well as resist the Astral Barrage. Good into Lunala because of the fact that a lot of them are the Fairy Terra, so you can hit them with Barbarage. You resist the Moongeist Beam, and yeah, it's a very effective mon. The only weakness is its bulk is not the greatest. It has decent HP and defense, but special defense is a bit lacking. That's why you are investing a lot into the special defense on this side, especially considering Miraidon outside of the electric terrain. You want to be able to take attacks from it, so max HP, so you get a number divisible by 16, so you get the maximum amount of recovery from the Black Sludge and the Grassy Terrain. 204 special defense with a Careful Nature, so you're just really able to tank the special attacks because again, not really the best special defense side, and 52 defense. You also have double Intimidate, so you don't have to invest nearly as much into your physical defense. Want to focus on the special side. And it's a very interesting mon because Toxic Spike, which is able to help especially against the Leech Seed Calyrex Ice Rider Mirror, just get poisons in general and just allow them to be put in range of Rillaboom Grassy Glide or the Kyogre Calyrex Ice Rider attacks is huge. Taunt, which is able to shut down like a Moongeist, any Trick Rooms, as well as like Leech Seed Calyrex Ice Rider on the opposing side. And there are a lot of things you could do, like taunt opposing Grimmsnarls, don't have to deal with Thunder Wave plus like screens. Taunt Wide Guard mon, so they can't go for that combo. It has a lot of utility. The Barbarage is a poison type move that is weak. It's a 50 base power, but it has a chance to poison your opponent, and if the opponent is already poisoned, it does double power, so it's actually a pretty decent strong attack. And Protect, of course, to keep itself around. It is an interesting bluff because with Kyogre, you would think maybe, oh, it could be like Swift Swim on the Overqwil could be offensive. We saw it in Regulation G where it had that combo with the Overqwil plus the Kyogre, and it was able to do a lot of work into Shadow Rider, the Gunk Shot as well. But instead, you bluff that mode, so Shadow Riders have a bit of a tougher time against you and have a really good utility mon because this Overqwil is just able to tank attacks in general. Toxic Spike up, Taunt to disrupt, and Barbarage is actually going to do a lot of damage if the opponent is poisoned. So it's a mon that can stick around on the field and just help in a different kind of way paired with Kyogre. Final Pokemon on this team is the Lagging Tail Grimmsnarl, which makes the holder move last in its priority bracket, with Prankster as the ability that gives a +1 priority to any of its non-attacking moves with the Fire Terror type, able to help out against super effective Fairy type attacks and strong Fire type coverage with Spear Break, Trick, Reflect, and Light Screen. So yeah, if you don't know, Lagging Tail Trick was a pretty common thing in the Dynamax format, and we don't really see it too often. However, it's still a pretty cool option because of the fact that you can just make the Pokemon that is targeted. You could Trick to get rid of the Lagging Tail on the Grimmsnarl and trade it for maybe a more favorable item from your opponent, and it is able to really shut them down. For instance, you could Trick a Miraidon so they move last with the Lagging Tail, because it doesn't matter if Trick Room is up or if Trick Room isn't up, the Lagging Tail will be affecting the Miraidon and making them move last every single time, which is really helpful. And other Pokemon, of course, Shadow Rider, it can help out. You can Trick and get rid of a life or a sash. You're able to just trick away those items, and it can just really disrupt an opponent's restricted Pokemon, and that could be their main damage dealer. So Trick has a lot of utility there. It doesn't activate immediately with the speed change, with the dynamic speed change, so you have to wait a turn for it to actually kick in. but it can be really good for setting up one of your restricteds in Calyrex Ice Rider or Kyogre to outspeed a potential threat. Spirit Break is able to be a strong fairy type move that also lowers the special attack on one stage. Could be very nice for the Dark Calyrex. Shadow Riders is very nice into just Miraidon and hit Koraidon. Good for the dragons, just good in general. And then dual screen options, because this team does like to take advantage of the bulk. EV spread wise, we have a Grimmsnarl that is very physically defensive, 244 HP and 220 defense, just to be able to take any physical attacks in general. Especially the priority moves are usually physical, like Grassy Glide and more, so being able to take the physical attacks are really important. 36 in special defense is giving the Grimmsnarl an extra stat point in its special defense, and still able to tank the Moongeist Beams and Astral Barrages that the Grimmsnarl is able to resist, as well as the special attacks in general, especially behind the light screen. And yeah, it's just a Pokemon that's able to be a nice support. That trick option they might catch off guard, and that trick option really does help out, especially against restricteds with so many threats. Be able to shut down a Miraidon, be able to shut down a Calyrex Ice Rider, just being able to shut down those really fast offensive ones. And it doesn't matter if you get Trick Room up or not, the fact that you just have a lagging tail affecting their restricted for the entire game can be a really big game changer. So how to use the team? A lot of it is more of a defensive route. You do have quite a few tools. Of course, you have a good balance mode. Calyrex Ice Rider, Kyogre, Incineroar, and Rillaboom can always pair super well with the double fake out, the pivoting options, the strong attacks from the Kyogre and the Calyrex Ice Rider especially. You have a defensive option with the Overqwil, and just being able to get T-Spikes against your opponent's team, shut down any wide guard mons with the taunts, so you can actually go for your spread type moves in that case and just chip away them with the T-Spike, because you put them into range of Water Spout Kyogre or the Glacial Lance Calyrex Ice Rider, as well as the Leech Seed plus the T-Spike will really just be able to add up the damage over time against the opponent. You have the Grimmsnarl that can be just very disruptive with the lagging tail, trick away a really important item, and it could be super beneficial in just shutting down one of the potential biggest damage dealers to your team, with getting up the screen option as well if it's able to stick around. And yeah, overall you have quite a bit of a more defensive team. You could get Trick Room up, you don't have to. You have straightforward offensive options. You could lead anything with Kyogre Calyrex Ice Rider for really strong spread damage immediately. You could lead a fake out mon next to Kyogre. You could lead a fake out mon next to Calyrex Ice Rider. Go for fake out Glacial Lance, fake out Trick Room, or fake out Leech Seed immediately. You could set up with the Overqwil immediately with like Overqwil Rillaboom or Overqwil Incineroar, fake out plus T-Spike, then start pivoting around into your restricted Pokemon while chipping them away with the Overqwil. Quite a few options, and of course Grimmsnarl can lead with anything because you have that screens option. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below, and in the comments down below let me know what your favorite Legends of Arceus evolution was, because they have really shaped up how we play VGC because of the fact that Ursaluna has become such a big threat. For instance, Overqwil was a mon that was able to get buff. A Cleaver has some impact in singles because of the fact that it does have the Stone Axe. We saw Dire Claw Sneasler become a big thing. So let me know what your favorite evolution has been from the Legends of Arceus game, because there were a lot of them that ended up just impacting competitive. So let me know in the comments down below, but otherwise let's get started and play some games. Grimmsnarl, Kyogre, Urshifu, Incineroar, Rillaboom, and Calyrex Ice Rider. It's actually very funny because we have a very similar team. We just don't have an Urshifu. We have an Overqwil, which I don't know if it's okay in this matchup. It's fine, I suppose. I bring Kyogre in this matchup, I guess is a question. I feel like I don't need to. It's a tough one to say, actually. I do always bring Rillaboom because I need it for the double waters. If it's screens, I would like T-Spike up, so yeah, I think I do bring it regardless. I think I bring Rillaboom, Overqwil, and I think I bring Cali Ice, and I think I bring Instant in the back. Kyogre is like okay, but I don't think it's necessary against this team. The problem with Kyogre is, well, I guess the thing is my lead is very passive against like every Incineroar combination that they have, so that might not be great here. And they have to bring Incineroar because they lose to my Rillaboom, unless they want to play this like a Terra Grass game angle and decide not to bring Incineroar. But the thing is, it's hard to go for Terra Grass against Cali Ice. I'm not 100% certain, but Mainly dealing damage to the Incineroar is just going to be really hard. Granted, I can at least taunt it with Overqwil to be able to shut down like any big shenanigans like a Will-O-Wisp into my Cali Ice, which is massive, but we'll see. We will see. They're going to lead the Cali Ice and the Grimmsnarl. So this is actually a pretty good lead for me as I lead Overqwil, Rillaboom. Okay, I like this lead a lot, actually. I do like this lead a lot. I like getting a T-Spike up and chipping them away. I guess the question is, do I want to switch out my Rillaboom immediately, or do I want to... I think I'd rather just fake out and T-Spike. Yeah. Because next turn I can go Incin. Oh, I should have checked the item. Was it Clear Amulet Cali Ice? I don't think it was, right? And if it's not Clear Amulet Cali Ice, that is also super helpful because I'm not like too worried about the leftover set in this game. Because that means I can slow it down with Incineroar. So let's see what they decide to do. They could go on the offensive. Please tell me this is not Terraghost Cali Ice. That's the only thing I need to dodge here. Cali Terras. Why did they Terra Water against a Rillaboom? What? Okay. That's such a weird Terra. I get a fake out off in the Cali Ice. Oh, they faked out my Rilla. They probably thought I was... I don't know. I just don't get that one. But sure. Alright, the T-Spike's up. That's massive for my game plan here. It was fake out Grimmsnarl, but this Rillaboom's fast, which is why I felt like it was safe to go for a fake out here. They're also -1, so they're not really doing too much damage. I think I'm gonna I think I get a second layer or I taunt here. I think I get a second layer. I'm gonna get a second layer up. Because if I get a second layer, it stacks immensely against the Kyogre and the Ursh for as many turns as they're on the field. Incin is super safe here. We get 2 Intimidates off into the Cali Ice, so it's not really doing that much damage. And they protect too because they're fearful of the Woodhammer. Beautiful. And they can't go for any prankster moves against my side of the field. Perfect. Perfect. And guess what? Whatever's coming in is taking another layer of T-Spike. So beautiful. Beautiful. Probably a water type comes out into the Grimmsnarl slot. I'm actually going to go for Parting Shot into the Grim, and I'm also going to bar Barrage because the Grim can't do anything, so it might be forced to switch out. If it stays in, it's just, what does it accomplish? Maybe a foul play if it has it. I don't know where you would go for the foul play. The Cali Ice is just in, like, they're in such an awful spot, realistically. They are in such an awful spot. I get Parting Shot Eater slot. I'm going to Parting Shot out to the Grim because at least the Cali Ice, what it has access to is a Leech Seed. The others don't do anything in this position. Also, Cali Ice is generally safe here. Yeah, they do switch out the Grimmsnarl hard into Urshifu, Kyogre, Urshifu. Okay. I debated about going for like a Wisp into Cali Ice, but I prefer the Parting Shot here. Oh, they double swap actually. This works out amazing for me. Both get poisoned and I get to bring in Rillaboom for Grassy Glide. Yeah, I'm liking me like a lot. Also, I'll Terra Water the Incin, I think, in my end game. So this is really good for me. So we got Bar Barrage, which is pretty good damage. That puts it in Grassy Glide range 100%. And me Parting Shot out to the Ursh. Alright, just don't mess this up, I think, if you're me. And that's pretty much all I have to do here. I do wish I Parting Shots out the Cali Ice instead, but... not the worst. We'll go out into our Rillaboom here and threaten the Grassy Glide. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Grassy Glide should easily KO the Ursh at that range. I'm going to Grassy Glide and I'm going to Protect. They can't Terra Grass the Kyogre. Their entire team's getting poisoned at this point. They're going to forfeit. They realize that this is such an uphill battle for them. They really don't have the tools to deal with Rillaboom anymore, and all their team is poisoned and on a timer, and the longer they sell out the match, the better my Rillaboom becomes at cleaning up their endgame. So they kind of just realized, oh, it's pretty much over. So it's funny because the Urshifu was really strong, but also my Overqwil just ended up being massive in that matchup. As you saw, I was able to get the 2 T-Spike layers up, slow down the Cali Ice, and yeah, I don't know why they Terra Watered again the Cali Ice turn 1. Maybe it was a hard read against like some random choice band Overqwil bluff, but yeah, it did not work out for them. All right, we have Calyrex Ice Rider, Miraidon, Urshifu, Incineroar, Volcarona, and Cornerstone Ogerpon. Now, matchup-wise, it doesn't seem terrible, but we have a few things to figure out. Man, I would really love Grimmsnarl in this matchup. Grimmsnarl would be so nice if it wasn't for the Cornerstone Ogerpon, so I could trick the Miraidon, and it would be so much easier to deal with. Because I really don't like Rillaboom in this matchup. If I can so help it. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Are they gonna bring Cornerstone? I feel like, are you gonna leave your fire types behind because there's a Kyogre? You'd probably bring one of them at least. I think Overqwil can have a lot of potential. I think Grimmsnarl can. Problem is, which mode do I want to go for here? T-Spike stall isn't really that incredible in this matchup, I'd say. I probably want to go with like Grimmsnarl and Incineroar and then have Kyogre plus Cali Ice in the back. And I think that's probably okay. It is a bit passive, but the idea here is if I'm able to trick the Miraidon and get rid of its item, I think that's absolutely huge for me. So let's see what is going to come out here. Going to be the Urshifu and Ogerpon. Okay, that is not what I expected. So I lead the Incineroar and the Grimmsnarl. All right. Are you Bandit Ursh? Are you Bandit Ursh? I could go for like Fake Out into Spirit Break and do a ton of damage, which I am tempted to. I don't think you Terra Ghost in this position. I could Terra Water if I want, but I really want to save the Terra for later. Yeah, so I think I'm actually going to just go for a Fake Out Spirit Break. If they Terra Ghost, they got me, but we'll see. I don't think they are. Fake Out going to come out in Ursh. Ivy Cudgel going to come out in Incin. I should be able to tank this just fine. Yep. The HP bar looked really weird for a second there. And the Spirit Break going to come out into the Urshifu. Good amount of damage. If they go for Surging Strikes, they will go down to the Rocky Helmet, so that is pretty nice. I would like to get a Spirit Break off, I think, into a few plays. They probably have Cudgel my Incin. Do I need the Terrestrialization? It would be really nice. I guess I don't need it because it's probably Cali Ice Miraidon in back. I'm kind of liking the idea of just going for the Spirit Break into Urshifu and maybe going for the Wisp attempt into Ogerpon. Yeah, I like that actually. I like that. Let's see if I'm right or wrong, because I could be very right or I could be very wrong. Granted, I should have Terrestrialized earlier, but I think this is fine because Incin wasn't going to last that many turns at this rate anyway, so I think this is acceptable. We will get to the Water Terror as the Ivy Cudgel will come out. We'll survive one. Yep, beautiful. As they go for certain strikes in the Grim, which I'm going to be able to tank. Beautiful. And I am able to get a Spirit Break off into the Urshifu and a Wisp off into the Ogerpon, which is great. Please land a Wisp. Nice. Okay, huge. Get rid of the Sturdy, and it is -1 attack plus burned, and we get the Spirit Break off into the Grimmsnarl, which is into the Urshifu, which is fantastic. I don't think they're ever going Cali Ice here, so they're probably going out into their Miraidon. And if they go Miraidon, I highly suspect they're not going to go for Follow Me, because normally they wouldn't have to worry about anything from Grimmsnarl. But this Grimmsnarl carries the Lagging Tail, so I can go for Lagging Tail Trick, but they actually bring out Calyrex instead, which I'm kind of surprised Calyrex came out, but I think this is fine. I can just go out into my Kyogre, and I can go out into my Cali Ice. The question is, which order do I want to go out into? I don't think I really need the health here. I could also go for Reflect Wisp here. I think I need the trick though, because if I don't have the trick, I just can't beat the Miraidon. So I think I'm gonna go Cali Ice for the Grimmsnarl slot. I'm gonna go Kyogre for the... Well, I'm gonna go Kyogre for the instant slot because I'll take Ivy Cudgel plus a Glacial Lance. Actually, this might not have been the play because they could power... They're probably power whipping the instant now that I think about it, because they were intimidated last time. Oh, wait, this is power whip. I mean, luckily it's burn plus intimidated, so it's not too bad, but I should have changed the order for sure. Bring out the Kyogre. Definitely should have switched the order, but I mean, I shouldn't take too much damage here. Or if they follow me, this is perfect. They didn't go for like a power, which I guess they didn't want to risk the Will-O-Wisp there. Is Glacial Lance going to come out? This is beautiful. This is a beautiful position. Yeah, very nice position. Okay, awesome. I don't think they're ever clicking follow me. I have a bunch of spread moves I can go for. I could see their Cali Ice going for protect though. I'm going to go for a leech seed in the Cali Ice, and I'm just going to protect Kyogre. The main reason is I think the Ogerpon either is going to go for Ivy Cudgel, Power Whip, or I don't think they follow me here. Yeah, they Power Whip here. Beautiful. So I get a free leech seed off into the Cali Ice, and now I just pressure that Cali Ice slot even more as they go for Glacial Lance again, which is fine. But right now my Cali Ice is looking like a massive threat. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, awesome. All right, so my Cali Ice should beat their Cali Ice in the 1v1 as long as I have the Cali Ice on the left slot. All I need to do is just pressure the Cornerstone Ogerpon slot, which is always going to be the Miraidon. So here I have Trick Room as a play, which is tempting. I want to keep it like Kyogre is kind of useless. It only damages the Cali Ice. It only damages the Cali Ice. So I think our play here is just to go for a attacks here. Glacial Lance. And I think we're going to Hydro Pump the Cali Ice because they're probably not clicking follow me. Yeah, they're clicking power up, which is fine. Still does a decent chunk, but nowhere near enough. I get a Hydro Pump land, which is huge. So their Cali Ice is... Wow, that did so much damage. Okay, they go for Glacial Lance, but I think they lose the end game here because now I get a Glacial Lance, I get a double KO here, and then because I still have Pokemon remaining, like I can always just beat the Miraidon guaranteed. So goodbye Ogerpon, goodbye Calyrex, beautiful. So lead was awful for us. Lead was awful for us, but we did find a way to position well. Trying to figure out how I make this a super safe endgame play, but yeah, I think I have one. Pretty sure I have one. They still have Terrestrialization though, I guess. I want to make sure I'm not losing the Covert Cloak on Miraidon. So we're going to protect our Cali Ice and we're going to go for a Hydro Pump. If they KO Kyogre, works out, but they really should just Electro Drift. Okay, they just forfeit. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. I was trying to figure out a position I could get Grim in so I can trick because I don't want to like lock in a fake out Glacial Lance in case this is random Covert Cloak. Granted, if it's Covert Cloak, I guess they can't knock out Miraidon or can't knock out Calyrex Ice Rider with the Miraidon. But if they do have like Terra Electric Glacial or Terra Electric, they might be able to KO the Cali Ice. But okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Even though we didn't get to use the Lagging Tail, I really want the Lagging Tail to Miraidon, but it just came out at the end, so wasn't expecting that. Grimmsnarl, Miraidon, Zamazenta, Xianpao, Volcarona, and the Iron Hands. Pretty standard team. How am I approaching this one? Okay, I do like my... Grimmsnarl's okay, but I don't think it's like incredible. I do want... I want T-Spike up? I think I do. I do want to intimidate this matchup for sure because hands would be a problem otherwise. I think I go with Overqwil, Rillaboom. This is kind of weird. Instant's nice here, but I mean, it's really nice. I do want to bring one of Overqwil or Grimmsnarl to show it off though. The thing about instant, I mean, you're going to bring Zamazenta in this matchup 100%. You're going to bring Miraidon 100%. The back two You probably leave Pow behind because Pow is kind of useless in this game. Is it Grim Iron Hands or is it Volk Iron Hands? I think it'd be probably the combination of either. Maybe the, yeah, I think that would probably be the combination. I think you always bring Hands, Zamazenta, Miraidon. Now we're gonna go Calyrex Kyogre back. We need Kyogre to deal with the Volcarona as well as get damage on the Zamazenta. And we need the Cali Ice just to beat a lot of these stuff. So we're gonna see Grimmsnarl Miraidon. So this works out perfectly for me lead wise. All right, so I do get the Grassy Surge up, which is going to shut down the Miraidon from doing that much damage. They have a safe Zamazenta play if they want to make it here, but I will always set up a T-Spike. Do I want to fake out or do I want to U-turn from momentum? I think there's nothing wrong with going for fake out unless this is Covert Cloak. Do I think this is Covert Cloak? Probably unlikely, but we'll see. I'm just going to fake out, go for T-Spike. If they're fake out Grim, I have a fast Overqwil. They should be always going for a switch into the Zamazenta. Iron Hands. Oh, they double swapped. Okay, so we know all four of their Pokemon now, which is nice. Okay. I'll take that. That's not too bad for me. As I get a fake out in the hands and a T-Spike. Okay, I don't think this is awful. It's not the greatest because they got a lot of momentum. I wish I got a U-turn off, but not the worst. I think I want to intimidate, so I think I'm going to go Cali Ice for the Overqwil, and I think I'm going to U-turn out the... Doesn't really matter because they're both going to heal anyway. So I'm going to retreat here into my Cali Ice. My Cali Ice will take damage, but I don't think it should be like game ending here to take a lot of damage because they can't knock out the Cali Ice with a double up with these two Pokemon without electric terrain. They go for Body Press and Arela. That makes sense. I take a good amount. I get a U-turn off into the Iron Hands. All right. And we bring out Overqwil. And then next turn, I think I go for Taunt and Trick Room. I might Terra my Overqwil. I think I will Terra my... I either Terra Overqwil or Terra my Cali Ice. They're both actually decent. I go for Drain Punch, which I am chilling here. Okay, they're going to respect my Cali Ice now, probably. Luckily, I'm healing a lot of HP from the Grassy Terrain and the Black Sludge / Lefties combo. So I can go for Trick Room, and I'm going to go for Taunt into the Zamazenta. I think they hard switch hands. Unlikely, right? Maybe the best place just to go for Leech Seed here. Leech Seed, and I want a Barbarage. There's no way you target Overqwil or double it up, I think. And I want to save the Taunt for later. They body press. Oh, they do target my Overqwil. Okay. As I do get the Barbarage into hands. I get the poison, which is nice. So the longer hand stays around, the less worrisome I have to worry about. They did double with Drain Punch. Ah, that KO'd. If I just tear a poison there, it's amazing. I could have protected. I could have tear poison. Like, I didn't think they would respect the Overqwil as much. He got me there. You get the Leech Seed off. Okay. Not awful. I guess this is fine because I can go for a Hydro Pump angle into the Zamazenta. Yeah, I can go for Hydro Pump into the Zamazenta. I'm going to bring out my Kyogre. I think I want chip damage. There's no... Do you wide guard switch hard switch here, or do you just wall charge body press? That's what I'm confused about. I guess I can... Yeah, I think I just Trick and Protect. Yeah, I Trick and Protect here. Trick and Protect is safe. They switch out. This could be Miraidon, which is fine. Grimmsnarl works too. Okay. They get poisoned. I kind of wish I Hydro Pump now, because if I get rid of the Zama here, I'm in such a good spot. Body Press comes out into my Kyogre. Okay, that's fine. Trickroom comes out. All right. So the hands is dangerous, but at this point, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's Terra Water Zama, because they don't normally bring... I don't think you can really afford to run Terra Water Zama on this build, if I'm not mistaken. Mainly because the Zama Zenta matchup, I think, would be horrendous if you did. I think we just go for Glacial Lance and we go for a... I'm debating about Water Spouting here. Yeah, I'm going to Water Spout. They might Spirit Break. If they Wide Guard, that's fine, right? That's fine. I do wish I went for the Hydro Pump, but granted, at the same time, it's like acceptable. I do got to get rid of the Zama as soon as possible, but granted, I do not think this is that bad. They do have Terrestrialization still, though, which I have to be concerned about. Pretty sure I just always go for Glacial and Hydro Pump the next turn. Or do I Glacial Lance Protect? Glacial Lance Protect also doesn't have any super big downsides here. I might Glacial Lance. As Terrain disappears, which is actually perfect because that means they have less recovery right now, and that's actually important. I'm going to Protect Glacial. The reason I'm going to make these passive plays is because even if Trickling gets stalled out, I do have opportunities to set up the next one. Spamming Wide Guard here. Interesting. Okay. Do I want to Leech Seed the Grim the next turn? Maybe. This is Spirit Break, right? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I mean, I'm just gonna Hydro now. And let's chip away that Grimmsnarl with a Leech Seed. Because I don't want to waste all my Glacials against Wide Guard and then be in trouble when there's Miraidon still in the back. So I'm going to Hydro now. If they decide to hard swap, crazy. I don't think they are, though. I think they're probably... Or do they not... Do they Wide Guard this turn? Okay, they do. Perfect. All I need is the Zama gone so I can actually spam Glacial. So we get a Leech Seed off into the Grimmsnarl. So the Grimmsnarl's on a even more of a timer. We get a Hydro Pump hopefully into the Zama. And because we get a Hydro Pump in the Zama, we're looking pretty good here. Nice. Huge. Okay, feeling pretty good about this spot. Feeling pretty good about this spot. Last turn, a Trick 'em in Rain, which is fine. I think I'm gonna Leech Seed and I'm gonna Protect. Gotta think about this carefully, but I think that is correct. They might decide to switch out the Grim here and Wide Guard. That's fine if they do. But if they decide to Spirit Break and spam Wide Guard again, that also works. Okay, you get Reflect Up. Okay. They went for Body Press and a Kyogre, I imagine. Okay, that's fine. All right, I get my next Trick Room up, which is actually kind of good here because I don't think a Body Press will KO Kyogre, and because the Body Press doesn't KO Kyogre, I am going to be able to knock out the Grim with Hydro Pump, I imagine. And I'd have the lead, plus I'd be able to have the terrain reset. So I think this is good in general, but Could get spooky. I could also, or I could go for a Glacial Lance and take both knockouts, which is also tempting. You know what? I'm going to do that. I am going to do that, actually. I go for the double because if I don't get the double, it's like whatever. But if I do get the double, it's huge. Yeah. It was my best play regardless because I want Callie to get the double knockout here. I don't want Kyogre to get a knockout, which is why I made this play. Even if they KO, Miraidon Iron Hands is in. I get Rillaboom in. Grassy Terrain goes up first, so I have the guaranteed control of the terrain. And I'm in a massive spot here to win, I think, because I have now a +2 Callie, which is in a fantastic spot against their team. But they still have Terrestrialization, but they probably have to force Terra on the Miraidon, otherwise they are going to go down. But they're not going to Terra this turn. They're going to save the Terra for when my Rillaboom comes in, because they have Fake Out Electro Drift currently putting on pressure. And I'm glad I saved the Terrestrialization because I have Terrestrialization on my Cali Ice available. The Hands is coming in, the Miraidon's coming in. It's the first turn of the game, and it's poison now. Beautiful. Yeah, even if I went down to the... Even if I didn't get the double protect, I was completely fine with it. But now that double protect gives me more opportunities to get some mind games right. We're just going to protect our Callie, and we're going to go for a... free hit into the hands, I suppose. As long as we dodge crit, I think on my Callie, I think this is super sealed. The poison will also start adding up because even if they have Reflect, I have +2 Callie with Glacial Lance that's putting on so much offensive pressure. They actually decide to Terra immediately, which I'm shocked by. They go for the Fairy Terra, okay. That's fine. As we protect our Callie. Are they locking in the Gleam? I guess they're locking in the Gleam. They got the Callie. I think they have to lock in the Gleam, right? Yeah. Okay. A Gleam is just not going to do anything once I switch to terrain. Fire doesn't take much. I get a Hydro Pump off. Doesn't really matter. It's just chip. But I win the game anyway, because now I bring in Rillaboom. I go for my Terra Fairy Terrestrialization with Cali Ice. We resisted low kick, and if they wall charge, it's not going to be in terrain, and they don't have the attack booster anymore. And we will seal the win here. So unless they wall charge and Dazzling Gleam crit my Cali Ice, which I don't even know if that would KO realistically. I don't even think that would KO, because Cali Ice is just a monster. I guess we'll find out. But Quark Drive and Hadron Engine are shut down, so I believe Cali Ice just effectively wins this. Go for the Fairy Terrestrialization. Unless they have some change up that they can do, but I just can't think of anything. Yep, they go for Gleam again. Does Rilla survive one? Probably not. Oh wow, we actually do. And yeah, as you see, the Gleam's just not doing anything anymore. They go for the low kick, but it's not doing anything to Cali. Yeah. I get a Glacial that's going to do a lot. Yeah, a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And because Rilla survived Gleam, I also have Fake Out Pressure too. Like, maybe they could have locked into a different move with Miraidon, but they would have had to crit me regardless because of circumstances. Again, even if I didn't get the double protect, I still think I'm in a fantastic spot in the game at that point to win. Even though I was getting a lot of wide guard mind games wrong, the thing is they weren't getting any damage, and the thing is they were just getting low. And once I get rid of the wide guard on this team, it's so much easier to approach with Cali Ice as long as it's healthy with terrain control. And that's exactly because they weren't getting any damage with their combo. That was the problem. Now I go for Glacial, I go for Grassy Glide. I mean, I Fake Out. There's like so much that just ruins them. I even had Kyogre in the back, but Kyogre wasn't necessary, so beautiful. E-Spike's putting in work. E-Spike's putting in work, and I mean, Overqwil could have put in more work if I Terra Poison, but Terra Fairy ended up being a good end game saver just to avoid any crit scenarios, so really nice. Murkrow, Smeargle, Lunala, Terapagos, Galarian Weezing, Urshifu. What am I looking at? Okay. Are they gonna bring Weezing as a lead? Honestly, I don't think they should. I really don't think they should. Unironically, Terapagos is good here. Or not Terapagos. Overqwil is good. I'm thinking of something crazy, and I'm not sure if I like it. I'm gonna do Overqwil, Grimmsnarl. Is that Dark or Water, Shifu? I think that's gonna be a really big component of this. Calyrex Ice and Rilla. I'm leading this weird lead, which I think could work in this situation, mainly because Grimmsnarl having Trick is huge. Tricking a Lagging Tail would be massive onto one of their restricteds, and Overqwil T-Spike, and is also just really good at resisting Lunala's attacks. Other than, unless it's like a 3-attack one. We see Murkrow and Weezing lead. Someone tell me what's going on here. Ability Shield Murkrow. We're getting a T-Spike up. And I think I'm going to get a Light Screen up if I can. Or should I Spirit Break the Murkrow? But then they get a free switch. Does that matter? Kind of, but at the same time, if we get rid of Murkrow, I think it's better. I should have Light Screen. Okay. We get T-Spike up. Oh, that's good for me, actually. Wait, what if I just screened? Dude, if I just screened, it would have been perfect turn. I got the T-Spike up. So now they don't have Terra Shell or Shadow Shield that will come into play because of the T-Spike, which is amazing. A Spirit Break going to go out into the Murkrow. I mean, this is a good turn, but like, I would have preferred getting Light Screen up too. Like, what am I expecting here? I'm going for Barbarage into... Murkrow goes down here. It's Ability Shield, so it can't be Sash. I'm gonna target the Weezing. And Spirit Break. You go for Tailwind, that makes sense. I should have Light Screened. Wait, no, I'm fine. I can set up Light Screen the next turn. What is this? What? Or I could Trick Lagging Tail. Actually, I like Trick Lagging Tail more. The question is into who? Into Terapagos or into Lunala? They're both decent targets. I gotta think about this real hard. It's probably into Terapagos. I think it's into Terapagos. Okay, both of them are up. Oh, it's Smeargle. Oh, I see what they're doing. Wait, do I mind this? No, I break the Sash on Smeargle, which is huge. I'm never tearing in this game. I'm terrified though. If I was Terraghost, this would be super safe. Starstorm KO. No, my best place to protect. My best place to protect and Trick. Yeah. I'm gonna Terrasilize. So no Lunala is kind of huge in this. Because if they go for Decorate into the Terapagos, I will get a Trick Lagging Tail off. I protect a stall out of turn. Nice. All right. The Terapagos is now Lagging Tail. Huge. They do Decorate. Beautiful. Okay. That's good. That's good. I guess they can switch up moves, but like it doesn't matter, right? Because they're mostly just going to click Starstorm against my team. What else would they click? So we're going to see the Barrage. Takes the KO, which is fine. All right. We're gonna go Rillaboom here. Do they have like attack move like Quick Guard or something? I guess we'll find out. Some of us Rilla will be able to live attack though. We go for Barbarage and we go for Fake Out. It is actually Quick Guard, but thank goodness we have a Lagging Tail. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay. So Barbarage will KO to Smeargle. So Smeargle goes down. Beautiful. And because Smeargle goes down, its single target Glacial Lance will be firing off. This will KO my Overqwil. This shouldn't knock out Rillaboom, I think. I didn't even KO my Overqwil. Shoutouts tricking away their choice specs, man. Shoutouts tricking away their choice specs. Now I go for Woodhammer Protect. Yeah, I go for Woodhammer Protect, so I keep the spread dim. I keep the Terra Starstorm. I keep the Terra Starstorm at a double target, and then I Barbarage Glacial and I win. Yeah, I also did a lot of damage to Terapagos. This team, man, what the heck was this team? Okay. Huge. The T-Spike and the Trick coming in super clutch. Goodbye, Rilla. Actually, if I just light screen, though. If I light screen, I think the game is just over. I think the game is just over if I just click light screen turn 1. Because they couldn't do anything afterward. It's so funny. The Misty Explosion didn't even KO, which was huge because of the fact that I survived with Grim. It actually put me in a fantastic spot. Tailwind peters out, but doesn't matter. They're Lagging Tail, and the Lagging Tail will always make the Terapagos go last in this scenario. I go for Glacial Lance, and I go for a Barbarage, and I always win. We find out if Terra Poison Barbarage KOs. We might as well. It's the optimal play anyway, because extra damage, and I'm never tearing my Cali in this position regardless. So we'll go for the Terra Poison Barbarage, which will be boosted, and this should finish off Terapagos, I imagine. Terra Poison Barbarage. Goodbye. Goodbye, Terapagos. This team was really just trying to sweep and decorate Terapagos, but we did not let him. We did not let him. Okay, beautiful. As we seal up the game. Not sure what I should have expected from that team, but yeah, I mean, it's just so weird because they were like, okay, give me the free switch to Smeargle plus Smeargle plus Terapagos under Tailwind. They go for the sacrifice play. They weren't able to sweep though because I had Grim. Even if I wasn't like Lagging Tail, Light Screen would have still been pretty detrimental. Because I got the T-Spike up, I'm able to chip them turn by turn, but also get rid of that Sash on Smeargle, which is like just so massive here. All right, we have Miraidon, Zamazenta, Volcarona, Xianpao, Grimmsnarl, and the Cornerstone Ogerpon. A pretty standard build, I'd say. All right, how do I want to approach this? I don't think I'm bringing screens in this matchup. I don't need it. I do want to bring my... I do bring Rillaboom into this. Do I bring Incin? I guess I don't need Incin in this matchup. Other than if I want to whisk the Zama, but it's not necessary, I suppose. They don't have any like big setup other than Volk, and Volk is kind of hard to set up against Kyogre Calyrex Ice. I don't want to lead Rillaboom Calyrex Ice though, because if they lead Volcar... Well, do I? Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a fine lead otherwise. I don't want to lead Pal Zamazenta and then I just get screwed over though. I think it's probably like... I think it's Rillaboom plus the Overqwil. Kyogre in the back with Calyrex Ice. Yeah, I think this is fine. If they go with like a passive setup with like the Grimmsnarl, I can get the T-Spikes up, which is kind of good for chipping them away to put them in like range of Glacial Lance or Water Spout. And if they decide, hey, I'm not going to... Okay, so they lead Miraidon plus the Grimmsnarl. Interesting. Is this Covert Cloak? Might be Covert Cloak. Okay. I do want to set up T-Spike. I just don't know if they're Covert Cloak fake out or if they're going to be like Covert Cloak something else. T-Spike is pretty generally safe. I could also go for Protect. I could Taunt here. I think I would rather just T-Spike up. And I think we want to U-turn. I want to U-turn the Grim, I think. Because I'm not faking out into a Covert Cloak Miraidon. They're actually going to hard switch Miraidon, so that works out too. Into Zama, I assume. Yeah, Zamazenta comes out. That's fine. Reflect. Okay, so a pretty simple thing, but at least I'll have T-Spike up for the Miraidon. If they have POW, I break a Sash with the T-Spike, which is great. I crit the Grimmsnarl. Not necessary, but I'll definitely take it. Okay. We'll bring out Calyrex Ice now. All right, I want to Leech Seed the Zama, so it's a lot of recovery I can get on this slot, and I think I just want to Bar Barrage the Grimmsnarl and get the damage. If I taunt, I mean, I'm only stopping Thunder Wave. They might actually just go on the attack here. I don't know if they have Foul Play or not. On this team, do they run Foul Play? I feel like you run Spirit Break. I feel like Spirit Break would make more sense. I'm gonna Bar Barrage and I'm just gonna go for a Leech Seed. We see Terrestrialization, so unless this is Terra Grass on the Zama, I'm in a good spot. They Terra Water? Oh, it's Terra Grass, okay. Annoying. They are weak to Glacial Lances in the future. Look for T-Wave, okay. Surprised I went for T-Wave in that spot, sure. Oh my goodness, it's Iron Defense. This team cannot beat Iron Defense Zama. Bar Barrage. Get the poison immediately, but it's nowhere near enough damage, unfortunately. Yeah, we're gonna get screwed by Iron Defense Zama. Was not expecting it to be Iron Defense Zama on this team. They usually are just the standard attacks. Is there any out that I have here? Not really. Maybe crit with Glacial Lance. Okay, we're gonna go for attacks here, and we'll see how it goes. A body press. This might just Oko. Yep. I don't think I want to use my Terrestrialization on... Maybe I should have on Overqwil, because well, if I get a crit here, that's pretty much how I'm getting out of this, right? They go for Spirit Break. Doesn't do any damage. I don't get parried. Beautiful. So I get a Glacial Lance off. I don't KO the Grim. I needed the attack boost. Yeah, this is really bad. It had to be Iron Defense Zama on this build. Because everything else is fine. Like, if it's a stand moveset, like, even if it's Terra Grass, it's not that big of a deal. The fact that they can actually boost their body presses is really annoying. Because my team can tank body presses, but not with the Terra Grass that I can't even get Leech Seed recovery off. Okay, bring in Rilla. They bring in Volk. At least it's poisoned. Maybe I can get Trick Room up and maybe Kyogre can get some luck here. But yeah, we're gonna go for a Trick Room fake out into the Zama. They protect Volk, which is really good because I didn't do anything to the Volk. Fake out. You don't get paralyzed, so we get a Trick Room. Okay, this might actually be doable. This might be doable. Especially since they don't have light screen, so I can actually kind of do damage to the Zama, but at the same time, it's like really unlikely I think I break through this team, but we'll see. I mean, I have Fairy Terra, but is Fairy Terra going to save me? I mean, I'm not going to Grass Terra to Kyogre at this point. I think I'm just going to Fairy Terra Glacial. I should have probably thought about the Terra earlier, but let's see if Fairy Terra can save me. Probably not, but let's see if we can get maybe a crit on the Zama. A crit on the Zama would be beautiful. Okay, here's a Glacial. No crit. U-turn. No damage. I wonder if Kyogre definitely doesn't live a body press. A +3, just I don't see it. Get the rain up. Giga Drain, sure. This body press as well. I hope it is. Ah, they target my Kyogre. I do hang on, but the odds are still nowhere near in my favor. Okay. This is like one of the matches I wish I had Ice Beam, because if I had Ice Beam, I'd go for the freeze probably. Unless if I Glacial twice and then Hydro Pump KOs it. Maybe that's what I have to hope for. Grassy Terrain disappears, which is whatever. We go for Glacial plus Protect on the Kyogre. They have Wide Guard. I might throw off a Hydro Pump the next turn still. Alright, let's see. Volcarona Protect and they Body Press, I assume. Oh, they protect the Zama. Oh, did they just double protect the Scout? Ooh, aggressive play. Okay. Giga Drain my Kyogre, sure. The thing is, I also have very limited Glacial power points, so I really need to KO onto the Zama as quick as possible. Turns of Trick Room. We're gonna Hydro Pump and Glacial. I'm just setting my attacks. There's really not much to think about. I have to send my attacks. So they have Protect, so they don't have Wide Guard, unless they don't have a Steel move for some reason. All right, we have 2 chances to crit here. Glacial 1. Nope. Hydro Pump. Good damage. Oh, that's really good damage, actually. That was more than I expected. Maybe we have a chance. Maybe we have a chance. Because Volcarona's not like the biggest threat right now. The thing is, we do need Cali Ice in Trick Room. But we could win this game, actually. We could very much win this game. Body Press. Doesn't do too much. Yeah, this is a winnable game. This is a winnable game. The Hydro Pump was doing more than I expected. Although I'm feeling it's very unlikely, it's very doable. We bring up Rillaboom. If they don't have Wide Guard, my Calyrex might be able to beat them, but it really just depends because I only have 4 Glacial Lances left. There is... Okay. I double up the Volk because they always have to protect the Zama, because if they don't protect the Zama, they just instantly lose in this game, because then I'd go for then I can Glacial afterward. Was Fake Out Volk necessary? They did not protect. Although that's still fine. No, this is still fine. I do get a Leech Seed off. I think that's insane not protecting the Zama, but that's fine. Oh, to body press the Cali again. Did they crit me? That's a bad crit. That's a bad crit. Thankfully, I'll get recovery on the Cali Ice, but I don't know if I can live to double. I mean, if I live to double up, I win. If I live to double up, I win. Right? Yeah. His rain is still up for another turn. Reflect finally wears off, so I actually will have more powerful glacial lances off. Okay, no, this is doable. So we Trick Room and U-turn here. I can't let them get in Miraidon, so I have to go for a Trick Room here. Body Press comes out. Oh, that did more than I thought. Also, it was still a mind game anyway, even if I protected, because there was still the Miraidon. So the thing is, I don't think I can afford to protect in that situation, because if they hard read me there of going for a protector to get the lead seed recovery, they could go Miraidon on the Volk slot, and then Electrodrift just wins the game. So I think it was kind of a read based turn on that one. And I was hoping I could live the double. The thing is, I think the play is generally safe for the most part if I don't get crit by the Zamazenta on that one turn. It's funny because I was fishing for the crits on the Zama. They got the crit that changed the game. Unfortunate. Because if I get Trick Room up, then I can win the end game by clicking Glacial because they have no switches. But then again, my Cali Ice didn't get paralyzed the entire game, which is insane. And I was just waiting for the moment where Cali Ice was going to get parried. Granted, I think the game was just a very bad position from the start, but I'm actually surprised of how close the end game ended up, because the Hydro Pump actually did more damage to the Zamazenta than I expected. So it was actually in range of Glacial. There were like 2 turns I guess I got wrong, which was A, to fake out into the Zamazenta, which I thought they would always protect there, because I don't think you can risk Glacial, but maybe they were like, okay, if I lose Zamazenta here, then Miraidon cleans up and gets the free switch. So I mean, that was their logic, so maybe I should have thought about that turn more. But man, I think the end game was super safe. Well, not super safe. I still have to deal with paralysis, but assuming no paras, then I could just Trick Room safely, because there's no way they were KOing my Cali Ice with the attack afterward. But I do expect I was going to get parried there. But actually, it was closer than I thought, which is shocking. Like, I actually had a chance to win that game. It just came down to, I think, the last turn or last 2 turns in the read especially. Because again, I don't think I could risk the Miraidon switching for the Volk on Radiant Protect to get the lead seed recovery. So I survived the next hit and then can Trick Room up. All right. Dondozo, Tatsugiri, Ursaluna, Weezing with Shadow Rider, Calyrex, and Koraidon. Oh my god, is this a Solvest Bear? I think it's the Solvest Bear. You know what's funny? Before VGC Worlds, I played someone that was like, I think like top 30 on ladder, and they had a Solvest Terraghost Bear with the Weezing. So I think it's the same player from all the way back then, from when I was prepping for VGC Worlds. Oh my goodness. Okay. What am I going here? I'm going with Ensign probably. Ensign is good against this team. Oh, but dealing with the Koraidon is just going to be annoying. I don't think I can bring... I can't T-Spike up against this team. No, I can't. LA cannot. If I do, I lose. I think it's just Ensign, Cali Ice, Rillaboom, Kyogre. I'm going to go lame here, but like... I can't T-Spike up against this team for the most part, because like the T-Spike's not going to really help. I mean, I guess against Dondozo can, but like it's not really that great. And then Rim doesn't do anything here. Koraidon Weezing's not surprising. Okay. Was it Overcloak, Weezing? We'll find out, I suppose. Wait. They don't have sun up. Wait. What am I supposed to expect here? I don't even know. Am I supposed to fake out and glacial? Think so? They stayed in. What? Oh my goodness. Why is that the Cobra Cloak Mon? What? At least they gave me Koraidon, and I have a boost for Cali. I can't get burned by Willow, so this is not a game losing spot, but like, what is going on? Sure. Also, the fact that instant lift collision course from Koraidon's kind of insane. Because it wasn't like it was intimidated, and there was no sun up. Okay. Bring out a Rillaboom. All right, Dundozo Tatsu it is then. I don't know if I can beat this. Is it attack booster? It is attack booster Tatsu, so I do have outs. Double protect? Okay, good. Okay. If they hard read me and attacked with Dozo, I would have flipped. I would have flipped. Okay, so I get a Trick Room off, which is actually really good because I'm prepared for the Dozo mode, and now I pin with Woodhammer Glacial. So I'll do some pretty decent damage to Dozo. And Glacial will KO the Weezing because we're at +1 attack. And the last Glacial did like 45. I think we KO. We're gonna Woodhammer and we're gonna go for Glacial. They should always switch to Tatsugiri, do the Terra Grass, just do Dundozo stuff. I mean, I didn't want to Terra Water my instant turn 1 and leave Cali Ice vulnerable. Gonna come down to the Dozo. On the bright side, it's offensive Dozo. Offensive Dozo is so much easier to deal with. Because if it was defense booster, it would be probably eating up the Glacial Lances for breakfast. Like, they would spam order up with Terra Grass and I couldn't do anything. But because it's attack booster, the game changes dramatically. If they swap out the Weezing, abilities are going to come back online. They already protected the last turn, so they have to attack this turn. Tatsu in. Unless they have some crazy Terra, but if they're not Terra Grass, I Leech Seed the Dozo, and I'm in a good spot. They get the boost. They do get the boost. What are we seeing here? The suspense. The Terra. Grass? Yeah, like it was pretty obvious. Okay. That makes sense. Crit the Glacial. Just crit them. Good damage. Attack order up. Wait, that's a slow Dozo. That's a slow Dozo. Okay. Endgame's really weird, but I think very doable. Very doable. They're just gonna protect this turn. I think I'm gonna go Kyogre and I'm just gonna Glacial. They should just protect to get Leech Seed recovery because there's not really a good way I can punish it. I'm pretty sure Wave Crash KO'd me at this point. They have Wave Crash, so like there's no reason not to go Kyogre here. Yep, they protect. At least I'll be able to get a Water Spout into Glacial off the next turn, or I could go for Protect Water Spout. I don't think that's worth it. This is like one of the matches I wish I had Ice Beam on the Kyogre so I could actually hit the Dozo. Because Ice Beam is probably more powerful than Water Spout at this point, but it's like one of the few rare exceptions. I think Water Spout will probably do the same amount. I think the question is like, how fast is that Dozo? Like how fast that Dozo is going to be a really big impactor. They have to KO Calyrex Ice too. If they target the Kyogre, they're just losing turns. So let's Glacial and let's Water Spout. All right, who's faster, Dozo or Kyogre? Okay, Kyogre's faster. That's actually really good to note. They order up again, which is surprising. Okay. Get a Water Spout off. I'm countering the poison with the leftovers Grassy. I think I'm in good shape? Question mark? I think they have to protect this turn, right? Yeah, they have to protect this turn. I'm just gonna Leech Seed and I'm gonna go Rilla because then I could fake out Glacial next turn. I'm trying to save as many power points as possible, so that's the reason why I'm not allowing this position to go through. Oh, they attacked. They attacked. No. Wait, they target my Kyogre though. Hey, that's fine. Oh, but they got so much recovery back. I cannot. Well, I guess that would have weakened the power of Water Spout. No, that makes sense actually because of the weird speed orders here. Okay. Which tons of Grassy are there? I need the Grassy to go away, man. I need the Grassy to go away. I don't know if they protect this turn though. They might protect the next turn. I'm gonna fake out Glacial because I mean fake out Trick Room is kind of obvious. That didn't work out. That did not work out. Okay, this might still be fine. Unironically, this might still be fine. I need to catch him this turn though. And I think I have to play. I think. It depends on... I think I have to get the target right. Who do they target? The Rillaboom or the Calyrex Ice? I think I'm going to U-turn always. We're going for a Glacial Lance. Terra Fairy. The Grass Terra doesn't help us on Kyogre. The Terra doesn't help us on Rillaboom. We need to maybe catch them on an Order Up in the Cali here. Because Order Up is technically safe in the Cali. They don't really lose much by going for Order Up here. Again, unless I had Fairy Terastization, I do. So I'm hoping that I can go for U-turn Glacial and I chip them low to put them in like Water Spout, Glacial range. Okay, U-turn. There's the crit I've been looking for. There's the crit I've been looking for. All right, I think it's huge, but is it enough? Bring out Kyogre. They order up the Kyogre, that's fine. And that's not doing anything, even though that's like plus something. It probably has a lot of Spadefto on the Dozo. We get the Glacial. And we KO Dozo. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We got the turn wrong and we still won because I think they're... What is their moveset? Is it like it's order up, protect? There's no sub. I feel like if they had sub, they should have gone for sub. I don't know what their moveset is. But it worked out. Okay. Weezing's coming in, which is fine. I think I live a attack from the Tatsu. I think we don't tear. I think there's no reason to go for a switch here and risk them going for a T-Spike or a Poison Gas. I think we're just attacking here with Glacial Hydro Pump. And yeah, as long as we hit our Hydro and Weezing, we're set. Also, the Tatsugiri is slow, so we get rid of the Tatsu, or get rid of the Weezing, so Tatsu is the last one remaining. Neutralizing Gas is off. Rain gets reset again, funny enough. We go for Dragon Pulse, but that was nowhere near enough damage. Yeah. And then Glacial Lance will finish out the Tatsu. Okay. Let me just say that was one of the strangest games I think I played. But I guess we'll take it. I'll take it. Because I don't know what to expect. I really thought I was losing after. Like, I kept thinking, oh, like, do they have Wave Crash? Are they going to Wave Crash my Cali? Like, are they ever going to Wave Crash my Cali? They just never went for the Wave Crash in my Cali. The order up was just not doing much. Like, unless I confused a Tatsu and it was Defense Booster? I don't think so. Was it Defense Booster and it was shiny so it messed up my calc? No, because I think the shiny Defense Booster is, I can tell the color. I don't think it was. I'm not sure, but we beat Dozo. Dozo doesn't win here. All right, let's go over to games. In game one, we pretty much had a mirror, except it was Overqwil and Urshifu as the individual Pokemon. I don't know why they decided to Terra Water their Calyrex Ice Rider turn one. It made my life easier. I was able to get a huge T-Spike up, was able to poison all of their Pokemon, and they pretty much had no Rillaboom switch afterwards. So looks like Overqwil is going to be better than Urshifu in this case. In game two, very bad lead, but was able to remove the Urshifu without too much trouble. I did have to sacrifice my Terraslization, but I think it did work out as I was able to also shut down the Ogerpon Cornerstone with an Intimidate and a Burn and set up my Calyrex Ice Rider into a fantastic endgame position. In game three, not the best played, especially in the mid game, as I got a lot of the wide guard reads wrong, but was able to position a beautiful Calyrex Ice Rider cleanup after the double knockout to get the boost and keep the terrain control with Rillaboom in the back. In game 4, not sure what to have expected from this team, but thankfully the free Toxic Spikes alongside the Lagging Tail Grimmsnarl that was able to trick the Terapagos and shut it down made my life a whole lot easier, as their only damage dealer was going to be slower than everything on my team. In game 5, it had to be Iron Defense Zamazenta on this build, which was looking really rough, but we brought it to a winning position as the damage really built up over time, until they crit my Calyrex Ice Rider, which forced an annoying mind game that I ended up getting wrong between them reading a double protect and switching to Miraidon, or doubling up my Calyrex Ice Rider. So unfortunate, but it was a lot closer of a game than I would have anticipated. In game 6, Covert Cloak Koraidon. Alright, didn't get all of the mind games against the Dondozo correctly, but was able to finally get one of the crits I was fishing for, and it was not too late thankfully. Was able to clean up the remaining with one Hydro Pump landing on the Weezing. How was the team? A lot of it could be a Kyogre and Overqwil Bluff. Of course, you do have the Swift Swim that Overqwil make it more of offensive, and it makes it really hard for Shadow Rider teams, especially in a best of one close team sheet if they don't know the team, to really match up against it. However, I felt like just the general bulk of Overqwil we've used on the channel before, it has done a lot of work. Its typing is very unique and it's really great into stuff like the Lunalas into the Calyrex Shadow Riders, and that T-Spike paired with the Leech Seed Calyrex Ice Rider is a pretty good consistent team in general. I think it was like really cool, and I'm really glad that Lagging Tail Grimmsnarl was able to actually come in clutch in one of the games. So very happy with how the team performed. If you would like to try it out, the render code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.